we have 3 press conferences by 3 of our newest Steelers. Jamel Dean, Rico Dowdle, and Michael Pittman Jr. We are going to be doing all 3 in this video here instead of breaking them up. I thought about breaking them up by player, but I decided not to based on last year when I would do the press conference reactions. And, I would have like Aaron, Cam, TJ, whoever, and then in the locker room would be the same video. And then Mike Tomlin was his own separate video. So I decided we're going to go all 3 in one. I do like the jacket they gave him. I do like that. That is a nice jacket. And I can see Steel City Football on the hat. Probably says like Pittsburgh Steelers below that. But no, I like that jacket. But let's get into Jamel Dean's press conference first.
Beyond maybe possibly the deal, but what was it that attracted you?
Now, for the most part, it was like basically like the culture that's been built here over the years. So I understand like here is all we do is win here. So I'm in a point in my career now. I'm trying to chase another
win
Super
the
Bowl,
regular season,
and I feel like with the person that we have here and the coaching staff, I feel like it's possible we can get that done.
Jamel, Chris Allen with DK Pittsburgh Sports. When you look at what this defense, like the history of the Steelers and everything, but then you also look and you see Joey Porter Jr. on the other side, and you two don't allow touchdowns. Like what's your expectation?
One over the last 2 seasons, and it was Dean.
Well, I'm gonna just continue playing the style of football I've been playing since I've been in the league, and then I don't have to really say much to Joey because his play speaks for itself. So just knowing that you got that accountability that he gonna hold it down on his side, I'm gonna hold it down on mine.
Well, Mike Pursuit at WTVE, you got a reputation for playing the run as well as the pass. How important that is to you, and how important is that to be a good corner?
I mean, for the most part, you play defense, so you got to be able to cover and tackle at the same time because nowadays, offense they're going to have plays designed for you to tackle. So if you don't want to tackle, you're going to have a long game. So I'd rather set the tone early, like, hey, I'm willing to tackle.
Jamel broke prior ESPN. You had career-high 3 interceptions last year. Just what kind of momentum do you feel like you're bringing in coming off of last season?
Me, coming off a season like that, it just makes me like, hey, I want to do more. So, and then, with the personnel and the defense staff we have, I feel like, they'll be able to, they will help me reach those goals that I got set for myself.
Jamel, Tim Benz here from Trib Live. Just a background question and then a follow-up if I could. In terms of how much man versus zone you've played in your career, can you kind of speak to that first of all?
For the most part, so in college it was basically a man, and then once I got to the league, it was a combination of everything. So I had to improve my zone coverage. So over the years, as I got better with understanding concepts, and then understanding the defense, and then I got more comfortable with playing zone. So now based on the call, I just play whatever the defensive coordinator called now.
And when you were talking to the Steelers about maybe coming here, did you have any conversations with them about how they're planning to roll out their defense with a new coordinator and a new coach, and how much zone versus man they're planning to play here?
No, for the most part, they're just saying like, hey man, we like your game because you fit our scheme, because you're a physical corner that can cover and can tackle.
Jamel, Jeff Hathorn from KDK Radio, kind of a follow-up. Did you have any familiarity with any of the new coaches, or?
I did what I actually had with the defensive coordinator, because coming into the league, he kind of grilled me during our former interview. But I was figuring I heard the rumors that the coach would try to get under your skin, but I didn't let it bother me. But now every time I see him, I just be like.
When you say grill, what do you like?
He just try to they ask you a question. And then they try to twist your words to make it seem try to get you frustrated. Like, no, I didn't say that. So, but I'm a calm guy, so I just whatever.
Jamel, Chris Carter, Pittsburgh Post said, you're talking about Patrick Graham. What do you
know of his coaching style and how he adapts to the different staffs? Because when we ask people around the league, there's a lot of respect for what he brings to the table.
You know, so for the most part, he comes in early, and you try to get everybody together so we can all understand the same thing that he's trying to teach us for his scheme. So you know, he do a good job of communicating. And you know, he going to bring energy, which you gotta love a coach that brings energy. And then that's pretty much, you know, how he's going about things right now.
Mike DeFabo with The Athletic. You mentioned you won the Super Bowl. That's something a lot of guys here, veterans, are trying to get to. TJ Watt has said that he's tried to ask guys who won the Super Bowl in the past, what does it take to get to that level? When he talks to you, what will be your answer to him?
I mean, you know, it just comes to like, you know, it really comes to the little things, because really it's all about getting into the playoffs. Once you get into the playoffs, it's a whole new season. So for the most part, that's the time we got to come together and then work our fundamentals and just stick to doing what we do best.
Jamel, Bob Marchant, College Pro, you talked about coming here and, you know, like, did you have any interaction with any players that were trying to recruit you? And once you did know that you were going to become a Steeler, like Omar Khan or Mike McCarthy, did you have any conversation with them welcoming you here?
Oh yeah, so you know, we jumped on the Zoom call, and then they was just telling me how they was interested, and then they was telling me like, yeah, man, we love you. We've been watching you for a while, and then we would love for you to be part of it. And then based off the energy, felt like it was genuine energy, and I like, okay, you know, I kind of like feel you guys' energy, and I like it. And then the fact that you guys are in Pittsburgh, where, you know, one of the best fans in the country, and then I was like, you know, I want to be able to experience that with you guys.
Did you get any texts from any of the guys on the team once you?
I have not. I'm looking forward to that though.
You were here in last year in August for joint practice. Just what were some of your impressions? I know it's a new coaching staff.
Okay.
There's going to be new guys on the team, but what were some of your impressions just of the organization and of being here in Pittsburgh then?
Oh yeah, so the most part, you know, everything was like on the move. It like we gonna take advantage of every time we have on the football field, and there's no walking, you know. So everything was just fast paced, but it was quality reps. So I was just like, okay, you know, I can adapt to this.
Jamel, going back to you coming off one of your best seasons, were you surprised that the Buccaneers let you get to free agency? And what's it like changing teams like 7 years into your career?
I mean, you know, before the season started, we came to agreement. So I was already aware that we was going to go our separate ways.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's different because, you know, the Bucs was the only team I played for. But then at the same time, I'm all for new experiences. So, because I know, like, it'll help me grow as a person to be in a different situation. And I may not know what I like. Until I experience it.
No, just to clarify that story you told about Patrick, you're talking about in 19 when you came out from the draft,
Yeah.
defensive coordinator in Miami.
Yeah.
What were some of the things he was trying to knock you off your game with? Do you remember?
Oh, so it was, I guess it was one film, and it was one play. I guess I accidentally loafed, and then he kind of like, he kind of like just kept drilling that, like, man, see, you just a lazy person, this and all that. And I was like, oh, wow. And then he asked me another question, like, so what are you going to do in the off season? And I just said, like, you know, I'm going to relax first. Then I'll start working out. Then he started saying, like, oh, so you're lazy. Like, I'm just like, oh, come on, dude. What are you doing here?
So how was meeting back up with him again? You said you recognized him right away. Did he remember that
Oh,
session?
yeah. So I just said, oh, I'm glad we starting off on the right foot this time. But no, it was a great conversation we had. You know, great energy, just talking about life and football and what he expects later on.
Two more guys, two more.
Kevin Cameron, Pittsburgh's DSAM radio. What do you expect as far as how you were used in Tampa versus what they're telling you the way you'll be used here?
I feel like it's the same. For the most part, the scheme is very similar. So they just want us up in receiver's face. So I'm just like, that's fine with me. That's all I mainly did my whole career.
Jamel, about Penn Live. You talk about getting other people's face. Press coverage has been something that you've been really good at throughout your career. How did you develop that, and how do you think you and Joey play off each other as a press man corner?
Well, so you know that was just the mentality we had in Auburn. So you know my coordinator Kevin Steele, his mindset was we're gonna press you before we get on the bus. We're gonna press you after we get off the bus as well. So his mentality, we're gonna press you the whole game. Cause you know for the most part, you know when when you play off receivers, it's just a timing thing at that point. So you got to be able to disrupt timing to throw off, the trajectory of the ball, the time of the route. That's the only way you like to make plays.
Brian, do you want to?
Yeah, sure. The last one, Jamel, Brian Batko from the Post-Gazette here. You said at the beginning you think this is a team that can still win a Super Bowl and get that done with you here. Now, how much of that is tied to your expectation that Aaron Rodgers is going to be the quarterback? And obviously you have some history with him, picking him off at some point. Or are you looking forward to him signing back here, if that's what?
I am looking forward to sign. I am looking forward to him signing back because that same football, I need him to sign it. So I've been waiting like 5 years just to be able to ask him, like, hey, you remember this ball?
And he probably does.
Yeah, I've been meaning you to sign this ball for so many years, and I think this is a good time to do it now.
Well, he seems nice. He has picked his number. It will be 35, just like he had with the Buccaneers. I mean, Aaron signing the ball. That's the Beanie Bishop situation where he picked off Aaron twice and Aaron signed both of them. So that's just going to be the situation here. If he can get Aaron to sign that football for him. And he seems like a nice guy. He smiles. He is kind of doing the typical, just get to the playoffs, just get there, and then from there see what happens. Like brand new season, which we hear a lot as Steelers fans. We hear it a lot, and we're tired of hearing that. We're tired of hearing, just get there and maybe you can go on a run. And is it possible? Yes, it obviously is possible. It's also possible that, a meteor hits the earth and then we're all done. Like, it's possible the sun goes out and we're done. It's possible, any one of you watching could win the lottery. I gave 2 negatives. I got to at least throw a positive in there. I'll throw in another positive besides any of you or myself winning the lottery. It is possible that I brought up this scenario on Twitter once, and I was in the hypothetical world of how many people were just hating on Tomlin, right? And this was obviously before he stepped down. They were just hating on Tomlin. And I said, how many Super Bowls in a row would Mike Tomlin have to win in order for Steelers fans to not hate him? Or for, I don't know, maybe it was a specific guy that had said something. And it was brought up bro being me, talking about winning multiple Super Bowls when they can't even win a playoff game. And I had to mention, hey, remember, this is hypothetical scenario. This is make-believe world. Dogs can shit diamonds in this world. So let's give another positive here. Is it possible that dogs just start pooping out diamonds? Yes. That's a possibility. Now, granted, the price of a diamond would drastically fall, and we might be really, really concerned. But anything has a possibility. There is, if you believe in the multiverse theory, the theory that there is an infinite number of universes that have an infinite number of yous, right? And there is a universe out there, if you believe in this, where the Steelers have won every single Super Bowl. Every single one. And there's a universe out there where the Steelers, from their start in 1933, won every NFL championship, right? And there's the infinite world where they've never lost a game, right? Never lost a game. And they're just perfect season after perfect season after perfect season, winning the NFL championship, winning the Super Bowl, right? Like, if you believe in that infinite, universe's idea, then one of those exists. And there is a universe then where instead of stepping down, Mike Tomlin says, all right, F this, or not necessarily F this, but F it. We're going to do something about this. And he pulls whatever off, and the Steelers win 3-4 Super Bowls in a row. Like, there's that universe as well. So, but like, people were like forgetting that it's a make-believe scenario. Like, anything is possible in theory. No matter if it's a quadrillionth of a percent, that is still technically possible. So for Dean to say, hey, make it to the playoffs, it's a brand new season, we've heard that before, we actually need to bring it into practice and let it actually show itself, Okay, let's say 2026 season, we go 10-7, 11-6, whatever we do. And we make it to the playoffs, whether we win the division or not, doesn't matter. And we just go on a run, and we end up winning the Super Bowl. Okay, Dean was right. But it actually has to be done. So, let's move on to Rico Dowdle.
Hey Rico, Alan Sauter from Pittsburgh Sports Now. How important was your relationship with Mike McCarthy to you coming to Pittsburgh? And can you just sort of talk us through the early part of your relationship with him and picking you out of South Carolina and that kind of thing?
Yeah, so it goes all the way back to when I came out of South Carolina. Coach McCarthy and Cowboys, they was able to give me my first opportunity in the NFL. And like I said, I've built that relationship with him. I was there with him in Dallas for 5 years. So yeah, just been building that relationship with him, and it was definitely played a major role into my decision to come here in Pittsburgh. So it gave me a little bit of familiarity, not learning the new offense and things like that. So yeah, definitely played a big role.
Rico, Ray Fittipaldi from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. I think a lot of people in Pittsburgh want to know what Mike's offense is like. Can you just tell us what your experience was like in Dallas and how he wants to play offensive football?
Like I said, we want to get it going through the run game, establish that. We want to establish everything at the line of scrimmage. That was one of our main things I know when I played with him in Dallas, protecting that quarterback and establishing everything through that line of scrimmage up front. So, and being physical. That's the one thing he always talked about, being the most physical team out there.
Rico, Mike Pursuit at WDVE. It looks like you run angry. Is that a fair description? Have you always done that? And
yeah.
Why do you do it that way? Sometimes it looks like you're trying to hit a guy that's supposed to make a miss.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say it's angry. I just think I run physical and try and impose my will on the defense. I know it's hard for them to tackle it all 4 quarters and just try and wear them down and things like that. But I say since I was little, I always took pride in, when you're a little kid, you see somebody get truck stick. I was just telling them, oh, you run them over. Like, that's just one thing you want to do. So I've always just had that mindset to just run through a guy since I was little.
Rico with WPXI. What excites you most about joining this running group, specifically working with Jalen Warren?
Like I said, me and Jalen, I think we're pretty similar. Those north and south vertical guys. But like I said, just in general, getting with a new team, new organization, meeting new people, and things like that. So definitely all that, I'm excited about all that new coaching staff. Besides, I know my running back coach, I was with him in Dallas. Coach McCarthy, I was with him. But everybody else, just new faces, new place, new city. So excited about it all and looking forward to it.
Following up on that a little bit, Tim Benz, by the way, from Trib Live in Pittsburgh. How have they spoken to you, and how did you talk to them about how you and Jalen might be distributed, or how you guys might play off of each other in the offense?
I haven't spoken with them about that at all yet, so I really don't have an answer to that.
I mean, stylistically, do you feel like you can be first down guy, third down guy, kind of play the same thing, do a lot of the different things that Kenny did when he was here?
Yeah, I kind of think for me, myself, I know I definitely can be out there all 3 downs, and I think Jalen has shown that he can be out there all 3 downs. So I think you got 2 guys that can play first, second, and third down, and fourth down if need, fourth and short if you need to. So, but I haven't spoken with them, and I definitely think we'll be able to complement each other well and play off each other. Like I said, we got 2 similar runs, so 2 similar running styles. So I think we'll be good.
Rico, Jeff Hathaway from KDK Radio. What is it about McCarthy's style that fits your game, you believe?
Just the way, like you said, he physical. I think I take pride in my game being physical, and that's one thing that he harp on, like I said earlier, establishing it through the line of scrimmage, establishing that run game, and like I said, letting the offense and things build off of that. So, like I said, and then just him as a player's coach like that. So I think that, and like I said, him helping you be your best out there each and every week.
Prior ESPN, you just mentioned Mike McCarthy being a player's coach. Kind of in what ways did you see that while you were with him in Dallas? How do you kind of describe what he's like on a day-to-day basis?
Interactive, like you said, interactive with his players, walking around, talking to him. You can come to him about if you need to talk to him about anything that's going on, you can go and talk to him about it, playing time, family, anything. He was very family oriented too. Like I said, always having days where you bring your family in for ice cream and things like that. But yeah, just small things like that go a long way. Like I said, especially family, and he's big on that.
Rico, Chris Carter, Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. You
really like these jackets. I gotta find those.
In your development, in the last 2 years, you've had back-to-back 1,000-yard rushing seasons. What was the biggest thing that you learned to develop to more complete your game, to be that guy that you have been the last 2 years in your career?
I would say one of my biggest things was for me was just taking care of my body. Injuries. I had a lot of injuries in college. Injuries when I first got in the NFL, broke my hip and things like that. And like I said, I give credit to Coach McCarthy. I think just being with Coach McCarthy in Dallas, it kind of allowed me to figure out what I needed to do to get my body to the best availability and to be out there. And I haven't had no injuries the past 3 years. Knock on that. But yeah, but I say that just like I said, just figuring out the best way for me to be available on the field. When you're available, and I think when I'm out there, the rest take care of itself. It's football.
Rico, to be fair about Penn Live, your yards per carry goes up as the game goes on. That's kind of rare for running backs. Is it a real thing for you where you get stronger as the game goes on, you get a rhythm, and you feel people get worn down? Is that a real thing in your game?
Yeah, I really think that's definitely true. Like I said, as the game goes on, like you said, I definitely think I get stronger and get a feel for the defense of how they plan certain things, certain looks. So I think that's definitely what. Like once you get repeated runs and things like that, and you know it's working, you can kind of figure out where you can hit this run at, and that's when you see like the yards per carry and things go like that. When you find that explosive and the defense got tired out, it's the third quarter, you've been banging on them the whole game, so then that's when you get your explosives.
Rico, Mike DeFavo from The Athletic. You came into this league as an undrafted free agent. How did that shape your journey and maybe your mindset as well?
I definitely would. My mindset, like I said, I think it put that chip on my shoulder, just having to prove myself having to prove it every year, having to make the roster. Like I said, that undrafted guy. And I definitely, being undrafted and from being the first round, I definitely think it makes your journey a lot different in the NFL for sure. That's definitely.
It's all fuzzy now. I gotta fix it.
Like I said, just put that chip on my shoulder. Had to come in and prove it, and just continue to keep working, and it's all paid off. Yeah.
Rico, the last year you finished in the top 10 as far as rushing yards inside the tackles. What makes you that good inside the tackles? What traits do you have to develop, not just beyond just physicality, but also decision making? Working that chemistry with the offensive line, what things have you developed?
$95.
Like I said, it all starts up front. You got to give credit to those 5 guys out there blocking. It start with them, just getting a little, and then as far as when to get to the running back, just being patient, having patience, and knowing the scheme, knowing how the defense playing. Like I said, just film study. A lot plays into it, but I say the main thing is just being decisive when you do.
Sweatshirts and hoodies. The cheapest is $85. This is stupid.
From, I guess, a fan's perspective, they see he worked with the offensive line. Now he's going to be coaching the running back.
What's on clearance?
What was your experience with him in Dallas?
Yeah, he was with the O-line when I was in Dallas as well, but he was one of those guys. Like he was a coach that was always around. He's a very how to put it, like high ceiling, like guy, like very exciting. Like he gonna be screaming, like all stuff like that. But excitement, nothing bad. But my experience with him was good. And I actually talked to him when we played against the Cowboys last year. And he was one of those coaches, like that was always rooting for me when I was there in Dallas and even when I went to
They've
Carolina.
got a Devin
So-
Bush
and I
jersey
actually
for
had dinner with him Thursday, so
$15.
definitely looking forward to him.
That's on clearance.
He's took a step
There's
in his
a
career, and I've taken a step in mine. So
necklace
me and him getting
and
back
ring
together. Looking
for
forward to it.
$13.
Bo Marchand,
It's kinda cool.
Touching base on that undrafted status again, Jalen Warren also undrafted. Is that a badge of honor you guys carry? And did you think the injuries in college kind of led you to being undrafted? Because obviously you carved yourself out of a really solid career so far.
There's some nice
I
clear
definitely-
signs for
I
like
would
$20
say
or
to answer the
less.
last part, the injuries definitely, I would think that played a part into me being undrafted. I mean, when I've been on the field in college and the NFL, when I wasn't injured, I think I've been productive. So I can't say that. So I would say injuries probably did play.
25 bucks and under, there's some nice stuff.
I think that had a part to do with it. But yeah, like I said, me and Jalen, he actually
You can get it cheap.
Jalen, it's funny you say that. He reached out to me during the season last year and was just like,
You just gotta get
he
the,
liked my style of play, my
you gotta
game
get the
and stuff,
deals.
let's keep putting on for the undrafted guys. So yeah, and now we together here, so we get to do it together. But,
Rico, I think a lot of people, when they think of Mike McCarthy, they think of quarterbacks because that's how it kind of came up through coaching, and he had Aaron, he had Dak. But in your experience with him, like, what does he think about conceptually about the run game, and what does he want out of his running backs?
like I said, to be physical, getting north and south, don't be back there dancing around. Like you said, he came up. And he came up through the quarterback stuff from the run. He wants you to protect that quarterback.
It's kind of nice,
like
right?
I said, be able to protect and like I said,
That ain't
be
too
able
bad.
to be north and south and decisive.
I gotta focus on this. I'm not focusing enough.
Brian Backup from the Post-Gazette. Welcome to Pittsburgh. When Jamel was in here a little bit ago, he said he signed here because he wants to win. He wants to win another Super Bowl. He feels like this franchise can do that. I mean, if you feel the same way, what kind of gives you that confidence that this team can take you there now that you're here?
If you go look at, I think just for me right now, just looking at the guys, just on paper. I haven't got here and been able to work with the guys, nothing yet. But just looking at the paper, offense and defense, and I think we got some guys.
Go
that
get those
we
deals
go
on
out there
clearance,
and,
though.
As long as you go out there,
Forget
and
the
play
full
right,
price
play at
shit.
a high level and play together as a team with the group of guys we got. We can definitely be the one holding that trophy at the end of the year.
Just to follow up, you made headlines around the league last year. Maybe this is when Jalen reached out to you, but with your revenge game against the Cowboys and what you did in that one, with the Panthers on the schedule this year, should we already go ahead and circle that one?
Yeah, it's definitely circled. It's definitely circled for sure.
Two more?
Rico, Kevin Cameron, Pittsburgh's DSEM Radio. How much have they told you as far as your role on this team?
Yeah, I haven't spoke much with them about it at all, about how it's gonna play out and things like that. But me, I'm just here, gonna do whatever I can do to help the team win, whatever it may be.
Rico, nose right by an honest eye. For years, guys would come in here and say, I signed because of Mike Tomlin. If you had a message to the fans to tell them why Mike McCarthy's going to be that next guy, what would it be?
Because like I said, he's a player's coach. Like I said, he's a great leader. He can lead his team. Obviously, he's from here, Pittsburgh, so I know he loved that. So you got your guy here, hometown guy, and I know he's definitely looking forward to that. It wouldn't mean more to him to hold that trophy up here in Pittsburgh, so that's the goal.
All right, thank you guys so much. We'll have Michael and Jamie.
Another north and south runner, like a Jalen Warren is. I had to do a quick search on Rico. He was undrafted out of South Carolina in 2020. I wasn't exactly sure what year he came into the league. So 20 to 24 with the Cowboys, 25 with the Panthers, and now 26 with the Steelers. He also picked his number as well, 13. He took Scotty Miller's number. And actually with Jamel, I can't even tell you I'm trying to think of the last guy to wear 35. Running back? Ward, maybe? Jonathan Ward? It's a guess. I might be right there. If not, someone wore it more recently than him. But Rico's going to wear 13. He wore 5 with the Panthers, and I actually can't remember what he wore with the Cowboys. I could figure that out quick. But I will say this, and if I didn't say it in my 23, by the way. He wore 23 with Dallas. If I didn't say this when he signed with the Steelers, I'll say it now. And a lot of people know this, but coaches will go get players that they've coached in the past. They're familiar with them. If they like them, if they like their work style, their habits, all that stuff. Players will sometimes follow coaches if they like the coach. You know, if you hate your coach and that coach goes from the, I'm going to pick two random teams here, the Titans to the Bears. And, you know, you can be like, okay, I can sign with the Bears or I can sign with the Eagles. And, you know, money's the same, let's say. They're similar climates. Maybe not exactly the same, but similar. You'll be dealing with the cold. You know, you get to play in an indoor stadium at least once a year. In the case of the Bears, it'd be twice a year. With the Vikings and the Lions versus the Eagles is Dallas. But if everything's the same and it's like, well, my old coach is over in Chicago. I really like him. I'm going to sign with Chicago. I really hate him. I'm going to Philadelphia. So, you know, sometimes you'll follow, or a player will, or a coach will not like the player and they won't go after him. But there's a reason why a whole bunch of Ravens signed with the Giants. There's a bunch of reasons why, you know, Giants players were signing with the Titans. It's you follow each other. So, and, you know, that's where it's like, okay, I know these coaches. I'm familiar with these coaches. I'm now the head coach. I want to bring these guys in. I have no idea. I'm going to take the Titans again here. I have no idea how familiar Robert Saleh is with Brian Dable, but they were both in New Jersey. I'm going to say it. They were in New Jersey at the same time. Saleh coaching the Jets, Dable coaching the Giants. Share a stadium, like, so I'm not sure how familiar they are with each other, but he brought in Dable to be his OC. So they must have some familiarity with each other. And they must like each other, because again, if you like the person, you're going to hire them. If you don't, you're not. So, but this was a good signing, you know. It's not super expensive, and I think he's making a little bit more than Jalen is, but it's really small. So there's still going to be a split carry backfield. You know, if I don't know how well Rico catches, but I know Jalen can really catch the ball. So it may be Rico a little more running, Jalen a little more catching, because last year we had Kenneth Gainwell, who he's really good at catching the ball. So it's okay. Now we have two guys who can really catch it, but we might run Jalen and throw it to Kenneth. And that's really what happened. And even though it irritated like the ever-living shit out of us, it really did. It was like, okay, first down, Jalen. Second down, Jalen. Third down, here comes Kenneth. And I loved Kenneth Gainwell. He did really, really good for us. He really did. But it would have been nice to see Jalen on third a bit more. And if they said, okay, Kenneth, you're on first down. Jalen, you're on second and third. Or Jalen, you're first. Kenneth, you're second. Jalen, you're third. Or if it was, okay, Jalen, this is your drive. Kenneth, this is your drive. Jalen, Kenneth. And you just alternate drives. You could have absolutely have done that. And I would have had zero issues. But it was the fact that you got into third down and Jalen Warren just comes off the field. It's like, he's a weapon. Use him. So we'll see how this mix goes together. And Caleb Johnson, we'll see how he factors into things. Because, yeah. But, hey, new coaching staff for him and Roman Wilson. You know, a new coaching staff might be good for him.
What was the attraction
question here, how much did Mike McCarthy's offense play into it, and just getting to play with DK, another big, tall receiver, big play guy?
Absolutely, yeah. So when I knew that this was a possibility, like I was really pumped for it. And when I got the chance to talk to Coach Mike and everything that he said, and the way that he plans on using me and this and that, I mean, I just got fired up, and I was really just making a push to try to get here. So.
Like Tim Benz from Trib Live, when you said right there that when you talked to Mike about how he was planning on using you, what was that message? How was he planning to use you as, to work with DK?
Yeah, so I don't want to give up his secret sauce, but it was very positive and diversifying the things that I can do, because obviously in Indy, I played a certain role there, you were asked to play a certain role, you got to do it. So just getting back to where I have more of a diverse route tree and stuff like that.
You'd like to diversify?
Oh yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
gonna help us all out and ask for the music down. So,
Absolutely.
Give me a second.
Mike Pursuit of WTV. You've obviously got.
I mean, I can hear you. So. Yeah.
You're obviously a physical guy. Can you talk about the role of physicality as you perceive it in being a wide receiver, and how that shows up in your game?
Yeah, I mean, just being that guy, who catches passes, but also blocks his, blocks his tail off. So, and that opens up extra yards, because maybe instead of a 5-yard run play, it turns into a 30-yard run play, or turns into a explosive run, and then that sets up the pass game, and just showing my teammates that I'm not here to just catch the ball, and that I'm willing to do all of that dirty work too.
And how about on the combat catch end of it?
Or just you're talking about all the contested catches and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean that just comes with me just trying to show the quarterback that that he throws it, that I'll catch it no matter what, and being able to fight for that football, and I feel like that just gives the quarterback confidence to throw you the ball, and more targets lead to more yards, and more yards hopefully leads to more wins. So.
Where I was going with the previous question about the diversification of the pass tree, we left off before. Was that a result of sort of a diluted amount of opportunities you were getting because of how much Alec was getting targeted, or what would you like to see more of here?
Yeah, no, I mean, back in my role there, I mean, we all had very specific roles, whether it was me, Tyler Warren, Josh Downs, or Alec. We all kind of played our tight to our roles, and mine was mine because that's what was decided, and being a member of a team, I had to embrace that, and I felt like I did the best with that. And then just getting back to diversifying, just showing everything that I can do. I feel like I really showed that my first 3 years, and then it just kind of got narrowed down to certain things, but just being able to show that I can still do the same things that I was doing years 1 through 3, 1 through 4. So.
Michael, Kevin Cameron, Pittsburgh's ESPN Radio. You mentioned the quarterback. Talk about the opportunity to play with Aaron Rodgers if he were to come back.
Absolutely. I mean, whenever you have a chance to play with a Hall of Fame quarterback, I mean, just you always take that. So I know Aaron previous to this, and I actually haven't been able to reach out to him yet. I know that he's still thinking about it, but we also have 2 really good quarterbacks here in Mason and Will. So whatever ends up turning out, I think we'll have a good plan offensively, and we will make the most out of it.
Michael, when you were coming out, did they show interest in you when you were coming out of school?
Yeah, so Mike did. So but during 2020 was COVID, so there was no visits, there was no pro day,
Mike DeFabo from The Athletic. You posted on Instagram that you were looking for somebody to watch your farm.
Yeah.
You moved. Can you tell us a little bit about your farm, how you got into that?
Yeah. So, my wife has always had horses, and I've always been into like the outdoors and stuff. So we kind of just combined the two, and we have a 43-acre farm, and we have a 100-acre farm that's like separate. We have horses, cows, chickens, goats, dogs. We have a peacock named Perry. We had turkeys. So we have a lot of fun out there, and so we're looking for somebody to watch all the animals and take care of the farm and maintain the grass and the roads and stuff like that. So,
Mike, to follow up on Mike's question, you had said Mike was interested in you. Which Mike were we talking about? Mike McCarthy?
yes, Mike. Sorry, like I'm up here like stuttering. So for those of you that don't know, like I stutter a lot. So it's not because I'm nervous. It's just a thing that I've done like since I was a kid. I've actually worked with the NSA on it, the National Stuttering Association. So like there's like my plug like for them. But yeah, so your answer to that is Mike McCarthy. So
Mike, how hands-on are you at your farm?
I do
So,
a
the
lot of it, but
Cowboys.
my father-in-law actually does probably 80% of the work, and like I used to, but then he stepped in, and it's something that he really likes to do because he's retired now, and he's always loved horses and cows and like just being out there. So my father-in-law really takes care of our farm, but definitely need help. Like now, like that, I'm not going to be there.
Chris Carter, Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Can you talk about your journey to work on your stutter? Casey Concepcion, I think brought out to a lot of people about his stutter when he was at the NFL Combine and the bravery it takes to work through something like that.
Yeah, no, like it was definitely tough, especially as a young kid where like there were moments that I like wouldn't even talk and like just like I would just like point at stuff because I just couldn't get words out. And through speech therapy and lots of other things, like football has forced me to like speak and like do things that I used to try to like avoid. Like I like would never ever have been able to speak in front of people like this. Like if it wasn't like for football forcing me into those situations. So like it really just takes time, and you kind of grow out of it a little bit, and like there's just like a lot of challenges like coming up because people who don't necessarily know about like stuttering and like about how it like affects people, like like sometimes like people think that you're dumb or you're unintelligent or like something like that, and it makes you kind of afraid of like situations like this.
Go ahead, sorry.
I'm sorry, did you have a reaction to when Casey Concepcion was at the Combine?
Oh yeah.
And how he talked about it afterwards?
Absolutely. I mean, like, I thought that was awesome that he would share that because, like, because, like, at least me, like I didn't know that he also stuttered. And so, like, it's just good to, like, show kids because, like, I just, like, just like when I was a young kid and I felt like I couldn't speak, like, in class, I couldn't read, I couldn't speak, and I would be deathly afraid for, like, popcorn reading and stuff like that. And like, just knowing, like, just showing kids that you can get through that and you're going to grow through it, and everything is going to get better, and like just to keep on working on it.
Michael, when did you start to feel that you could stand up? You talked about standing up and talking in front of a crowd. I mean, like high school, grade school, college?
I still don't think I can, but I'm forced into these things, and like it comes with like football and doing like the things that we do like as players. So I'm still like getting better. Sometimes I'll come up here like and I won't stutter, and other times couldn't get a word out. So this is like a middle of the road time for me, right?
When you were in Indy, you were selected as the Good Guy Award, which goes to the guy who's most cooperative and well spoken with the media. What does it mean for you to achieve something like that? I assume it represents a significant step in this milestone in this journey.
Absolutely. I mean, like, I just want to give people like the time of day, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody's job is hard, and like just trying to help like you guys out and give you guys the time of day and help out the fans too to get the inside stuff. And yeah, like I mean, like I'm still working on it, and I'll always be. So just keep on working towards the goal of smooth speech, I guess, if it's possible for me.
Like Brooke Pryor with ESPN, it looked like also on Instagram that you were in Uganda recently.
Mhm.
Is that where you were when you found out about the trade?
Yes, yeah. So I was in Uganda, and it cut my trip short. I was doing kind of a sightseeing trip, fishing trip with my brother, and we actually ended the trip about 6 days early. But I thought that it was important to get back, like as much fun as we had, but like I had to get back here, and to get back here, I think it was like 28 hours. I flew from Uganda to Ethiopia to Abidjan to JFK, then here.
Wow.
So
Did you have any idea then when you planned the trip that you could be on the trade block, that was a possibility?
I had no idea. I planned it probably a year and a half ago. So
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, like I couldn't foresee this. But actually, speaking of that, so I think that I tweeted out, but it was about a month and a half ago now. It was my wife had told me that she had a dream that I was wearing a Pittsburgh Steelers jersey, and like I kind of just like brushed it off, like I'm like, yeah, like okay, like cool, right? And then it's just kind of crazy like how it happened. And then when I started to get the feeling that it was going to be here, like I was like, that's kind of crazy. So.
Mike Riley Holsinger of Black and Gold Nation. What was your wife's reaction to finding out that her dream eventually came true?
Yeah, I mean, she just said that she was right and she can see like into the future, jokingly, of course. But yeah, so funny stuff.
Who's your wife like in the Final Four?
USC.
Michael, on that note, I mean, after you've been in the same place for 6 years and you're getting a fresh start, what have these last few days been like for you, and coming to an organization that's also having a bit of a fresh start as well with an all-new coaching staff?
I mean, like first initial thing is obviously like you're kind of sad about the people that you spent 6 years with and that you've grinded with, because 6 years, I'm only 28, that's almost a quarter of my life like that I've been like with the same team. So there's obviously like a little bit of like sadness, but then after that, like there's some like excitement of coming to like a new place, like with a new with a new opportunity. And just like when I got on the phone with Mike and everything that he was saying, like it just got me like really like fired up, and I really feel like this is the right place. I'm gonna do anything I can to help this team win and just learn the way that they do things here and follow suit. So.
What stuck out to you about what Mike said?
Yeah, like his vision, like for me, like as like a player, like in his offense and like everything that he thinks is going to happen, and that's got to be classified. That's between like me and him. So it just got me fired up, and I feel like Pittsburgh is like my style, like of football, like just really that tough, smash mouth, gritty. Like I think that I just fit in perfectly here.
They don't have a lot of numbers when it comes to wide receiver depth. There's some things that some might address it in the draft potentially.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think your versatility allows them to be versatile in their thinking as to who they might bring in?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, like I think I can play inside, outside, and I'm pretty sure that they might be looking to add somebody. So not, I mean, they haven't said that, but just looking at our room, like it does look a little thin, like numbers wise. So.
Mark Waller here from the McAfee Show. Considering how your father played the game, growing up, did you have any other choice but to be a physical football player?
Yeah, I mean,
his dad played?
Honestly, like he never really pushed football. He never, he never like made us like work out. He never took us, well, not never took us, but like he never like forced us like into it. Like he waited for us to tell him like, hey, like we like want to go run at the park and we want to go catch passes. And I feel like that helped us grow our own love for football and like, yeah, like just watching him play and just like how tough that he was. Like there was one day
running
that
back.
we were fishing and he dang near cut
won
off
the
his
Super Bowl
finger,
with Tampa in 02.
and then he got it stitched up and was like practicing like the same day. and like his whole finger like had stitches around the whole thing, and I'm like how is that possible? As like a 6-year-old, I'm like looking at him, I'm like, this dude is like indestructible. So, and just the like grit that he played with, like I just try to follow suit like on that.
Another question about Uganda. With the time change and everything, what were you doing specifically when you got the call? Like, was it the middle of the night? Were you out on the boat fishing?
Yeah, so I think it was like 8 p.m. at night, and I was just sitting like in the little lounge because there's not very much internet there or phone signal, so I was sitting like in that little Wi-Fi area they have. It's probably about as big as this room. And the news broke, and then I'm getting a bunch of text message calls and everything, and it was crazy. But obviously, like when it got to a certain point, obviously the Colts had let me know and stuff like that, so it didn't really come as like a super surprise. So yeah.
Mike, Brian Batko from the Post-Gazette. Welcome to Pittsburgh.
Thank you.
You were in a situation last year with the Colts where they kind of hit on their quarterback and pushed a lot of chips in the middle at the trade deadline. Just what's it like to start over with a whole new organization that's also trying to get to that pinnacle that every team in the league wants to do? And what have you kind of learned about the ups and downs of this league through 6 seasons?
Absolutely. I mean, when I came in the league my first year, we ended up, I don't remember the record, but we went to the playoffs, and I was just like, wow, like we're like going to do this like every single year, and it's going to be fun, it's going to be easy, and I haven't been back since. So just know that it's hard. It's hard to win, and the most important position is the quarterback, and I think that we got a group of really good ones, and just like know that like every game is different, and like you got to take it one game at a time, and just keep on grinding like with like your guys, and you can't get down like during the course of the season when things don't go your way, because that's football. Like more bad than good things like usually happen like in a football season. Like you just got to get through it. So that's what I've learned so far.
You mentioned quarterbacks you mentioned quarterbacks the most important position. What's it like as a receiver to go to a team where there's a lot of uncertainty or some uncertainty right now at that position?
Yeah, I mean, like I'm no stranger to that. I've had a different quarterback every single year I've been in the NFL, which like I've been fortunate to have some really talented ones, and like I think that we have 2 really great ones on roster now, and then obviously Aaron is out there like thinking about it with the possibility of also bringing someone else in. So I don't really know like what's going to happen, and just whoever it is, I'm going to do everything I can to make their job easier.
You said you had a previous relationship.
What stands out to you about Mike McCarthy's offense, and why do you think he's been able to have so much success for so long with it?
Absolutely. I mean, like he's just an offensive-minded coach, and he likes to spread the ball around, and he's like I don't want to say pass heavy, but that he's going to pass the ball, which obviously played a big factor because like I like to catch footballs, so. Just like everything that he was saying and about the usage and the offense and what we're trying to do and everything that he has planned, like I was just fired up for it, and I can't I just can't wait for it, and I can't wait to actually throw on those pads and get into AccuCruise Stadium. Acrisure Stadium. Sorry, I almost said the other one. So yeah.
Last one, go ahead.
You said that
Lucas
you had
Oil
this
or
relationship
Heinz
with
Field?
Aaron. Just what is that relationship? How did you guys get to know each other?
Yeah, so he trains down in California, and so just from training at the same spot, just like running into each other and just saying like what's up, and like yeah, like we've never thrown together. I don't think Aaron throws much like during the off season, but we'll see what happens, and if I can get him back like on or get him back out there and shoot him a text message and just see how he's feeling about things, and but like just knowing him, I know that he loves football, and that he's gonna consider it. So
Thanks, everybody.
thank you guys.
While Michael was talking, I actually did a little bit of research, right? Because I was thinking, I'm like, Michael's pretty tall, TK's pretty tall, right? DK is 6'3" 3/8. Michael Pittman, and he's like 238, I think, from the pre-draft measurables. Michael Pittman in the pre-draft measurables, 6'4", 223. So we have two very tall wide receivers. Now, he was talking about the wide receiver room. Do we need another really tall guy? No, not necessarily. We could get a 6 foot, 6'1", maybe 5'11". We can figure that out, right? I don't necessarily think we can go get a 5'9" guy, which I was looking into, like maybe like a Zachariah Branch from Georgia, but he's 5'9". And then they talked about KC a little bit, and KC is 6 foot. So he would actually be a good height. And that'd be a pretty nice wide receiver room with DK, him, and Michael Pittman rounding out the top three. We could also very well go get another veteran to add in there. It's just we are starting to get a good wide receiver room, but yes, it's still a little small as far as the number of wide receivers. Do we need a Malachi Fields or a Chris Brazzell? No. Could it hurt? Also no. But I don't think we necessarily need those guys right now. Before Michael Pittman, it was, okay, we got DK, let's get another big guy, and let's get, maybe a little more smaller, not small, just smaller. But now it's, okay, let's go get that 6 foot, 6'1" guy, maybe even. It doesn't have to be super, super tall. And then he talked about, along with KC's stutter and his stutter. And I know people were making fun of Casey from the combine when he was talking. And before I knew he had a stutter, before it was like kind of brought up, I figured maybe he's nervous because this is the most important job interview of his life. What percentage of the population will never have a job interview this important, right? And I was just figuring he's nervous. That's it. A little anxious, a little nervous, that is it. And to learn he has a stutter, they may have made fun of him before they knew about the stutter, but, it's, how hard is it to give the kid a break? Maybe he's nervous. And here you go making fun of him, whether you knew about the stutter or not. And there's one Steelers fan, I won't name him, but there's one Steelers fan that I interact with on Twitter quite a bit. I see his stuff and I like and retweet. He sees mine, he likes and retweets. I'm going to find him. But it is, an acquaintance that him and I have, right? But this guy talked about initially KC, right? And how no matter where KC goes, Steelers or not, he has a fan in him, just right, forever. Like, I could try to find it. But now to know that Michael has a stutter as well. This is like, okay. Now, Michael talked about going to like speech therapy as a kid, right? how before he would just kind of point. So while I don't have a stutter now, do I flummox over my words sometimes? Absolutely. Where I have a lot of ums in there. Like, I'm editing my videos and I'm like, why am I saying And I probably just said like a bunch of times as well. But it's like. So I do flummox over my words, right? But I've never been officially diagnosed with any kind of stutter. But I myself did have speech therapy as a kid as well, where with my words, I wouldn't necessarily say the complete word, or I would screw up the word, right? So with, say, paper, right? Like, I need a piece of paper. Does this have anything on it that's important? Yeah. Can I have a piece of paper that doesn't have anything on it? Please? Alright, this is fine. It's an envelope, but yeah, this doesn't have any information for me on it. It's just DMV sent me this. So, just paper. I would say per. Just the second syllable, P-E-R. When it came to newspaper, paper. Now, granted, some people call it the paper, right? But newspaper was paper, paper was per. Truck was fuck. So the fire truck going by, it was a fire fuck. So I got speech therapy, state funded, but or government funded. I don't know if it was state, federal, whatever, but it was government funded, right? So I got speech therapy. It helped. I'm good, right? So, like, I do relate to Michael, Casey, this other Steelers fan. Like, I had speech therapy as a kid, and I've never been diagnosed with a stutter. I don't feel like I have a stutter. Maybe I do, and I don't realize it. But I think I'm pretty well-spoken as an individual. Do I always get the right word? Maybe not. Where I'm trying to think of a proper word for something, where it's like this, but it's not, it's not the word I'm looking for. And everyone has that, has that moment where it's, what's the word? What's the word I'm thinking of, right? And then you might end up settling on a certain word, though it's not 100% what you were thinking of. So, like, I relate to what he went through with that, not necessarily what he goes through now. But as far as just football is concerned, I didn't even know his dad played. So let me think. So actually his dad would have known Mike Tomlin then. Mike Tomlin was coaching the defense. I think specifically the secondary, but he was coaching on that 2002 Super Bowl team. So his dad actually probably knows Mike Tomlin, if we're thinking about it. Mike Tomlin was the secondary coach. His dad was a running back, but still. It's kind of cool. Little tie there. But as far as him, the football player, I think this is a good trade and extension for the Steelers to get him, and then I think we can get a wide receiver in the draft. Do we have to get it round one? No, I don't think we do. Would it still be cool to get it round one? Obviously. But this gives us the ability to trade down, because it's like, okay, do we want, before it's like, okay, we have to take this guy and we might even have to trade up, and It's like, well, no, we have Pittman and we have DK and we have this other veteran we signed. I'm making that up. We haven't. Hold on, So don't be like, wait, who do we sign? No. We have this other veteran we signed. So Roman's like fourth on the depth chart at that point, right? Yeah, he would be fourth. So it's 1-2 with Pittman, DK, or, reversed. We have this other veteran third, Roman fourth, Skoranek fifth. And it's like, okay, instead of having to trade up, or we have to take this guy at 21, we can trade back to 29. I don't know who has picked 29, but we can trade back to 29, get another pick, whether it be this year, next year, whatever, and we can take this receiver or any of these 3 or 4 receivers and still feel good about where the wide receiver room is at. So that definitely gives us versatility there. But kind of funny, his wife dreaming, hey, I dreamt you were in a Steelers jersey. And the way the league is now, anyone can pretty much be traded, cut, go through free agency, because, whether it was this year or 4 years from now, 5 years from now, when he's a much older receiver, he absolutely could sign a 1-year deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And his wife's telling him, hey, remember 5 years ago when I had that dream? Here you are. So it just happened to work out that it's a month and a half ago that his wife had that dream. So that just, that is kind of fun. And the fact he also cut his vacation short so he could be here. Now, granted, could they have sent him, the new contract through email or whatever, and he electronically signs it? Probably you could do that. But he's like, I'm going to go in. So cut off the trip basically a week early. Grateful for that he was willing to do that. Not everyone would. But that is all I have for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, please do leave a like. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, turn notifications on. I will see all you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.